Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs. Today I thought I would do the second part of my Tiny Tot base breakdown. So we've already done the head, and as I mentioned, I'm now going to do the base for the arms. Now, with the arms, you're going to start with a magic ring, and I always do a magic ring of 8 for the Tiny Tots. So you're going to have 8 little bands, like so, and you're going to have one for your hook. Now, depending on whether the figure that you're making is wearing gloves, what colour sleeves they're having. For example, I have Elsa right here, and I start with skin tone, as you can see, then I move into this transparent, the clear, I do some blue, and then I do back to skin tone for her arm. That's just the way that one is. For Charlie Brown, again, it's the same style arm, but I have done skin tone and then yellow. So each arm is going to be a bit different for whatever figure you're making. You have to decide what colours, and I will tell you what colours, but we're going to start with a magic ring. Now in this case, my magic ring, I'm going to make an arm for Elsa, for a little Elsa doll, okay? So I'm going to tell you the 8 bands that you're going to do your magic ring with the one for your hook, so that's 9, are going to be in skin tone. We're then going to do, for Elsa, after we've done our magic ring, we do 8 rounds, okay? And they're all the same amount of stitches, it's just a single crochet. All that is going to change is the colours that you use. So you would have, for example, 2 rounds in skin tone. I would then do maybe 2, 3 and 4 rounds in the blue, and then I would finish with 2 rounds more of the skin tone. Okay, now I've started here, so I'll do my magic ring, and then I would do round 1, round 2, round 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Those are my rounds. If I was doing Charlie Brown, I would start with the skin tone, and then I'd do 1, 2, and I'd probably do 3 and 4 as skin tone, and then I would do the last 4 as yellow. Okay, so this is how I'm going to tell you how to do the arms. I'm going to do one arm with you now, fully, completely. You, when you make your arms, are going to do 2, but I think it's worthwhile showing you how to do them. You will need a stitch marker of some sort. You can use a stitch marker like I use. This is the little clover locking stitch marker. This is my favourite one at the moment. There are other stitch markers that you can buy on the market at your craft shops. You can also use an S clip or a C clip, a hair bobby, safety pin, paper clip, all of those work. You can make your magic ring on your loom, on your hook, completely up to you how you do that. We're going to start by using the first band and wrapping it once and twice around our hook like this. Now, if you're new at magic rings and you're a bit lost, please look at my tips and tricks. I show you a variety of different ways to help you make a magic ring. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to put my stitch marker through here, through my little end cap, okay, and I'm just going to lock it into place. You don't have to lock it, but I am. This is just so that I can show you, I can demonstrate clearly what's going on. You're going to take your first band and pull it through that end cap and pull one over the other. You're going back through the end cap and grab your second band, and again one over the other, and then join these 2 together like that. And we're going to do this with 8 bands so that we have a magic ring of 8. Now as you start going through, you can see this is just holding that little end cap together for me to make it easy. You don't have to do that. If you don't need to, if you can do it all just quite happily on your hook, that's what we aim for. Okay, so let's do 4 more so that we have a magic ring of 8. Now for the little arms, we do not decrease, we do not increase. We're just doing 8 stitches. Oh, if I can get my finger through, there we are. And this is just the base of how we do an arm for my tiny tots. So counting, this is your first stitch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 is on my stitch marker. I'm going to go through my first stitch. Now, as I said, we're doing our first 2 rounds are going to be skin tone, then we're going to do 4 rounds of blue and then 2 rounds of skin tone. Alright, so my first round I'm taking from here. I'm going to put my first stitch through and do a single crochet, and I'm going to put my stitch marker on that first stitch. I'm going to try. I haven't had a coffee yet. That's my excuse. Now, we're not doing increases, so we're just going to go through. So it's eight bands for each round, okay? So we're just going to go through and do 1 single crochet in every stitch that we have for this round. As I said, if she's wearing gloves, if you're doing her wearing gloves, or if you're making a figure, Tiny Tot, that's wearing gloves, you would do it the colour of the gloves. Like for Santa, I did the magic ring in white, and I did the first couple of rounds in white, and then we moved into red. Okay, so it depends on what figure you're doing. So as I do my figures, when I do my Elsa tutorial, I will lay out the bands like I just did here to show you what colour you're going to be using for each round. So then we have our second round. Go through the first stitch here, take your little band from here, and we go through again and move your stitch marker. And again we go round just doing 1 stitch, 1 single crochet in each stitch of the skin tone. And I think this is going to make making these tiny tots much quicker. The videos are going to be shorter because you'll be able to just watch whichever part we're doing. It will open. You'll have the main video open, but it will open a little window for each one that you're doing. So now we're back at our beginning and we need to switch colours. We're going to go to the blue. So we have to do a slip stitch. Go through, add your loop of skin tone and do your slip stitch and move your stitch marker to that stitch. So now we're going around doing blue. I'm using the electric blue, it's a glow in the dark or something, I think, a glow. So I'm going around and I'm going to do 4 rounds now. This is the first of 4 in the blue. As I said, you are going to continue having 8 stitches. You're not increasing and you're not decreasing. Try to make this as easy as possible. So here we go, around. Now you can see that that little slip stitch joins those 2. So this is our first stitch. Take your next blue band for your new round. Move your stitch marker to that first stitch. And let's go around. So that was 1, and this is number 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, whoopsie, 6, 7, and 8. And in my first one that I just showed you, I did a clear round. You can do that, that doesn't matter, it's completely up to you. In through the first stitch again, let's do our 3rd round of blue. There's our first stitch for the 3rd round, move your stitch marker, and around we go again. Again, just 8 little stitches in each round. And you'll be doing this twice. I don't stuff the arms. You could, but I don't think it really needs it. And we have one more round to do of the blue. So push through the first stitch. We're going to do our 4th round of blue. Move your stitch marker. And around we go again. Just 8 stitches. Well, 7 now because we already did the first one. 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, 5, 6. So there's 7 because we already had do dum diddy doo da. Now we're going to change to skin tone again. So take your first one and do a slip stitch and move your stitch marker to it, and we're going to go around and we do 8 stitches in skin tone. That was our first one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is 8. Now you've got the little slip stitch right here, as you can see. We're going to miss that and go into our first stitch and do our second round of skin tone. Move your stitch marker. Here we go, this is our last stitch of our 8th round. So going through the first stitch, you're going to take a skin tone. Now, depending on what colour you're actually working with. So, for example, with Charlie Brown, we finished on yellow. So I used yellow as my tie-off bands, as my anchor bands. I'm finishing on skin tone, so I'm going to use skin tone. I'm going to pull it back through the first stitch and add the loop, one over the other, and I'm making an anchor band like so. I'm going to take my stitch marker off. I'm going to go to this second stitch here. So this is the first one. Here's my second stitch here, and I'm going to marry that up over here like so. I've still got that first loop on my hook. Pull the second band through, one over the other. You're not joining these together. You're going to go back here and find your third stitch and link that up with another 2 on the other side and pull through your third band, one over the other, and these are our 3 anchor bands that we're going to use to attach the arm to the body, and I'm going to keep those on a stitch marker or bobby pin or another hook, whatever I have available. Now remember, you need to make 2 of these, okay, and that is how we do the arm. So when we have 2 of these, I will show you in the next video how we add these to the body, because we're going to do the next part is going to be the body and adding the arms to it. Alright, catch you later.